All right, let's get into Rare Books USA eBay store monthly reports. Let's art sales, antique and vintage books, 333 English Ordinal. We understand that. Rare Books USA is an eBay store and is a subsidiary of Data Productions Media. Earnings report style monthly updates, tracking sales, expenses, future business advancements, and our 2025 forward guidance is going to be $25,000 of revenue on eBay. That's what we're going for. And so for the next couple of slides, we'll get into the nitty gritty of what this past month of February has done. And so this is the month of February. Obviously, we're not done yet. We still have, about 5 days to go in February. But I will say, February was looking a lot more slow than I was anticipating until the last couple of sales, the last couple of days. So to first, I want to show, for the first 23 months of February, we've done $1,562 in sales on eBay. The net sales is $1,100 when I'm taking home from after all the fees. The average sale price is $33.96. So my historical average has been around 28, 29, around that range, the high to mid 20s. But with the last couple of sales that we've had, that it jumped up quickly, and we'll get into that. But when we talk about what the year-to-date totals right now from January 1st, 2025 to February 23rd, which is today, we've done $3,460.53. We had net sales of $2,321.38. I've sold in total 114 books on the year. The average sale price on eBay for the year thus far is $30, which is a couple dollars average from what it was last year in 2024 for half of the year. And so the balance sheet, that's not going to change a whole lot. But I also want to say, our assets right now are about $8.8 thousand. And while it doesn't show up here, my inventory that's listed is also assets as well. I just have it as a general expense for now to make accounting a little bit easier and understand my cash flows moving forward. But when it comes to tax time at the end of the year, my general expenses, what I haven't sold, goes straight back into assets. And so you'll see that in the income statement right now. So the income this year, gross profits just a little over $2,000. The operating expenses, is $2,300. And so right now, we're looking at what the net income. Let's go in there. Net income. So we're negative $294. But also remember the general expenses. A lot of that is the books I've bought. And so when looking at that, I've sold 100 books this year. So you say about like $300 worth of expenses of books. So I have about $1,500 of assets. So, we're actually doing pretty good. We're in an operationally positive year thus far for the book industry. But it's nice to see that as a general expense to really keep my profits and losses in line still. I want to be at a positive operating income with my general expenses being booked still. So I need to overcome that. But I also have to understand I have to keep buying books and good books to continue to have the good inventory. But, at the end of the year, it's going to be looking a lot more profitable than what it was last year for myself. And, the IRS is going to enjoy that. So how are we going to get there? How are we going to get at an operational profit with understanding my book buys being in general expenses, technically being assets? But how do we get this getting positive with that in mind? Co-signing books. So I had an opportunity to co-sign some books with somebody. I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. So the Book of Mormon is huge. The Book of Mormon and all its different variations and books out have different types of niche and value. Some can go for a lot of money. And so I got some books, some religious books from this friend of mine. He brought them over to my house. And what the positive thing is about consignment is I'm not buying the books, I just sell them. So, the risk, not a whole lot of risk for me because I didn't buy the books. I just have to make sure we sell them and we split the profits 50-50. So I sold a rare 1908 Book of Mormon. That was for $225, and I sold a 1920 version for $64. Same buyer, going to Canada. And so at the end of that, when I get that delivered out tonight, minus the fees from eBay, the shipping costs, and all that, me and the co-signer that partner together, we're going to be profiting about $150 a pop each, pure cash money. I didn't have to buy the books. He brought them over to my house. So the effort for me to get these higher quality books not only help the views to the store, helps my pockets as well. And my current estimated linear revenue, I say linear revenue because especially at the tail end of the year in Q4, typically sales go up because holidays, people have money. So I'm in line right now. The goal is $25,000 in revenue for 2025, but I'm in line for 21,000 right now. And I think I still get to 25 as I go along. Not only the compound effect from Q4, but just the compound effect of me becoming a better bookseller, me having more inventory. I'm always growing my inventory. So I can see that number, skyrocketing up, especially if I get getting good books off consignment and such. So we're really in line. Data P, the stock, the fake stock on OTC, Data P is real in line. We're doing a lot of great things, and I'm excited for where the book business is going further. And so that's kind of like the financial outlay of where we're at as a book company right now. We're getting them sales in. I'm always trying to get a lower cost per book when sourcing, and with these bigger buys and consignment, we can do some damage. And so some business objectives I just want to talk about some of the keys. Is to continue to find the consignment opportunities, very high margins, very little overhead. Obviously, this is a tangible business. This is a distribution inventory type of business in a lot of ways. But, we can take a lot of things, we can learn a lot of things from different industries. And in the software industry, they really try to find avenues of revenue that don't take a lot of money for tangible assets, and they get that for subscription based, where a subscription base is where a person pays a lot of money, a person pays money to get a service from the company, but there's no underlying tangible asset since it's online. And so while these are books and these are tangible, and this is not a software company, this is not a software industry, consignment in a lot of ways mirrors what software companies can do. So consignment is much like a subscription model in a sense, if you think about it. Very high margins, very little overhead. Where there's little overhead because you didn't buy the books, right? It's high margins because it's not your book. You're just using your platform as a service to the person who wants to sell the book. So you're just taking off the top. And if you have a good deal, that could be 50%. So those 2 Book of Mormon books I have, I didn't have to pay up for those at all. The service to the person for me was he came to me, he says, I want these sold. You have a platform to sell them. Can I use your service as your platform? I said, okay, we'll do 50-50 minus the fees, and I get a high margin. That's just pure profit for me. The only thing I got to pay for is, my time and effort to get them shipped, and the shipping supplies which aren't a lot. And so I'm happy with that model. And financially, it's not too hard to, keep that all in line. I don't think I'm going to have a large consignment business, but I'll be very specific and concentrated and condensed on what I want to do. I'm also running 99 cent auctions a little bit more frequently now. And it's just to continue to gain online market share, followers on eBay. And this is the phrase I had: customers to acquire from books I don't desire. And what my philosophy is on that is, sometimes there are books out there that are in bad condition, but are still, desirable titles, just bad condition. Or there's books that aren't worth a spot on my shelf on my store. It might only be a $15 book to the right type of buyer for many of reasons, right? And so I'm trying not to put lower price books on my store. I'm trying not to. Sometimes with my sales, that varies. But as I'm you know getting more business experience, I want my price per book higher, right? But with the 99 cent auctions, I can get off a lot of books that might not be good for my eBay inventory store, my store, but I could maybe sell them for $1 or $2 on auction, and I raise up the shipping cost to get a little of that money back. And sometimes when you cherry pick how I cherry pick, you're going to buy books at a little bit more of a costlier price. And instead of me, keeping the books, looking at the books, and just disposing the books because I don't know what to do with them, put them on auction for 99 cents to see if they sell. At least you can cut down on the expense of that book. If you paid a little bit too much about it, you can cut the expenses off that book. You get a little money back, but you're also getting that sale. So it's helping the item sold, and you're providing a good experience for that buyer, which also helps for positive feedback. And if we just look at my metrics right now, I have 44 followers, and I haven't been in business for a year yet. I haven't been in business for a year. I'm going on, I think, month 9. Yeah. I'm going on month 9. So I'm 3/4 in onto my book journey. So 44 followers, 99.4% positive feedback, and 374 items sold. I have 169 positive feedbacks. I have 1 negative feedback, and it was unfortunate because it was a book that I bought, for $2, months ago at a thrift store. I read it. It was from an author that is very popular, that has valuable books, but it was a self-published book by him. You can't find it online. And I read it, but it didn't necessarily resonate with me. So I was like, okay, it's not in my personal collection anymore. I'll sell it at a high price. I sold it for $137. I read that book. I understand that book. It was in amazing condition. But you have to protect your business, especially on eBay, because there's people on there that try to take advantage of you. And I wear this negative review as a battle scar, and I am proud of it because I'm pretty sure this person was trying to take advantage of me. They bought the book. I listed the book, and 2 hours later, it's sold. Full price, $137. He comes to me after the book comes in. He says, hey, I just opened the book. Everything looks great, but the book smells. Mind you, I just had the book. I read the book. It's been in my collection. It's been protected. I knew there was no smell there. And so I told him, okay, just allow the book to air out for a little bit and come back to me in a day or so. Well, I told come back to me the next day to see if it still smells. I just needed some air. And with older books, it's over 100 years old. Of course, they have some smell. So he doesn't reach back out to me. He reaches back out like 4 days later, and he says, "Hey, I took it to a restore. They can get the smell out for $100." And he was asking for a refund. I don't do refunds unless it's for a return. He doesn't want to return the book, and so I think he was trying to take advantage of me. And I told him, "Sir, I've read that book. That was in my personal collection. If you want to get a refund, I need the book back, and you can get the full refund." He did not want to do that. He did not want to do a return. He was trying to get a little bit of a discount off the book. And he said, hey, he was threatening a negative review if I didn't do a little bit of a refund to counteract the cost you paid. I said no. And so he went on, he gave me a bad review. He said seller was pretty rude and was very disrespectful on messages, blaming me on things I did not know. How can I smell an item I've never even touched? The book arrived with bad odor. It was odor. It wasn't my fault. And later on messages, he says, "Why didn't you ask me in first place?" I did not say that. I said, "Why didn't you reach back out like I wanted you the day after to get to see what the smell was?" And he had a lot of excuses, and it just didn't make sense. He was trying to take advantage of me. How can I ask things I was not aware about? But the fact that I get blamed, sorry, not acceptable, very sad. Oh well, not a really well thought out review. But I wear it on my sleeve. You're not a real seller until you get a bad review. That's what my mentor says, and I'm wearing it. Whatever. We're still selling books regardless. We're still trapping out regardless, so that's fine. And another objective is I want to expand my inventory to foreign books. I sold a Vietnamese uh, language book not too long ago, and I just bought a bunch of Vietnamese, Sanskrit, Buddhist books in different languages, and that's just to expand into different markets on eBay. A lot of people on eBay buy those type of books. I've been talking to some people, and so we'll see where those goes. And that's under $1 a book, and so I can just piece those out over time, very low risk. And again, those are sourcing larger curated collections. So I want to find collections like that. It doesn't have to be a Vietnamese books. It could be different type of style books. Like I had sports media guides and sports magazines I got for about $1 an item. So those are the type of things that you can grow your business off of, that have great inventory, low price, and you could just piece them out over time. Now, I would like to do a free pickup sometime in the year. It's hard for me because I have a full-time job right now. And you have for free pickups, usually it's larger boxes. I mean, I have decent space, but it's not like I have a whole bunch of space to have books that I don't even want and have to throw away anyway. So I like the cherry picking method. I like the method of having specific curated collections that I can get. So the free pickup with just random books, that's not a model I want to continue, but I do want to get the experience to do so, because I do think there does hold value to it. Building connections, networking, and providing a service that can lead to better numbers in the future. So, that's Rare Books USA. Those are the business objectives. The business is going good. The month of February wasn't my best month ever, but with those sales last couple of days on consignment, that boosted my numbers up a bunch. And we'll continue to monitor this as the months go on. But I'm very excited.